I'm just
All right, go ahead. Yeah, tell us all about yourself.
I kind of started getting interested in family history when I was um, about 9 years old in primary
Wow.
programs. So yeah,
It's
and
awesome.
I think the year was they were doing it on pioneers, and so I didn't have pioneer history at the time, or didn't wasn't aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so I shared my mother's grandparents' courtship story, and because of the sharing time and music and that experience ever after that, I've always been interested in family history and things like that. And dabbled on it off and on, took an intro class at Rick's,
Wow.
and um, that was back before you could do much online, but it wasn't from Idaho. And so I wasn't anywhere that I could really follow up on it a lot. Um, and then about my husband left about 9 years ago, and
Mm.
getting back into I had already been getting back into family history, and um, but it was the only thing that could help me keep my sanity because he was doing all kinds of hijinks and stuff, and
shoot. Yeah,
even going to the temple didn't
Yeah.
calm me the way family history did, because I could start, I really have a testimony of how much it really just it anchors you in life, and to go, okay, yeah, my ancestors had hard times too, and obviously they lived through them or I wouldn't be here. Um, so I thought, well, maybe I can be a genealogist. And so I did, uh, started in the BYU Idaho family history program online. And then they changed pathway to allow people with a major to come, or that had already graduated, to also do it. So I took a year and did the pathway and got the cheaper tuition. So I didn't file the paperwork to get the associates, but I completed the classes to get the associate's degree in family history. And so I still, it's kind of like if you haven't read your scriptures that day, that's how I feel about family history.
yeah, absolutely. Okay.
I love that.
And when my husband had taken my kids, and I didn't know what he was going to do. He was being very erratic, a little bit crazy.
Mm,
And so I could
Mm.
work on the family history and go, okay, I just, and I also struggle with depression. And so family history really helps with that. At the end of the day, I changed eternity for somebody. And so Satan can just take a hike when he tries to tell me that I didn't do anything worthless that day. And I keep trying to tell people, with the Get Involved app now, I'm like, it takes like 1 minute to make like 10 names findable.
Yes.
And you can change eternity, and you can just tell Satan to take a hike when he comes along and says, you didn't do enough or you don't matter. And
Jerry, that's
so
incredible. And
in
yeah,
I'm
like
so
the last
that's
glad
10
you
years, I've just really hit it hard a lot and do family history almost every day.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing your testimony in that. And that sets a good preface for this. And I love your example of my ancestors did hard things, so I can do hard things too. And that's
Mhm.
something when my kids were young, I really wanted them to understand that, like, they're not alone. And I love being able to pray for angels that have gone through things that we've been through. And so I love that aspect of it, that this is like your connection. Um, that's incredible. That's a great way to start. Thank you so much.
absolutely.
You're welcome. So, yeah, I'm one of your avid users.
Okay.
If I
Needless to
pulled out my
say.
phone, if I'm not reading, I scan the news every day, and if my phone's out, I'm doing family history. I'm not on games. Every once in a while, I'll fall off the deep end into some reels or shorts or whatever they're
Uh,
called.
yeah.
They're just not as
Absolutely.
satisfying.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. That's really paints a picture as far as your background and your commitment to doing family history work.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, as you do family history work, I guess how much of a ratio of it is on your phone versus on
Well,
desktop?
that's the reason why I'm not a professional genealogist yet, is I do it on my phone instead of getting on the desktop. I've also had
Okay.
some health problems, so I can't sit for any extended period of time. After
Mm,
about 20 minutes, I'm like, oh, I'm done sitting.
yeah.
And so the phone lets me do it whether I'm
And is
standing
that
or laying down or, or on my side or walking around or sitting.
anywhere?
Yeah. And so that convenience has been really good. So despite knowing that I ought to write out a research plan and take notes and keep a log, I still fall for the easy.
Well, it's it's still work that's being done, right?
It is still work that's getting done,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
getting to
So
the point to where I've done most of the easy stuff. Um,
yeah, I get you.
and I'm gonna have to pull out the desktop.
So are you primarily on Android or
Yes,
iOS? Android?
Android.
Android.
Mhm.
Okay. And is that solely on your phone, or do you find yourself doing stuff on tablet as well?
I don't have a tablet. I just have the
Okay,
phone. And
excellent.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what sort of walk us through a little bit what you do typically when you're on the phone, or
Mhm.
um, I guess, Lindsay, I think it'd be a good time to pivot and just kind of get a demo of that. You think that's
Okay.
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
else you want to cover, Lindsay, before we jump into that?
No, let's just let you share your screen, Sherry,
Okay.
and kind of talk us through how you use the app, what's important to you in the app, and maybe, what we also love to hear what's great, but we
Mhm.
also love to hear what's bad. We like to hear
Yeah.
what struggles you're having, and so we just want to. This isn't a
Yeah.
test for
I'm
you.
excited because I've got a long list
Let's dive
of
in.
one
Let's
Yeah,
that's
do
going to be
that. Share your,
ongoing, and
yeah.
then it's saying only the host. I'll try again. Yeah, it says only the host can share in this meeting.
oh shoot. Okay, let me see if I can change. Oh wait. Um, yeah, that's me. Okay. Let's see. Zoom is usually not my go-to
I know this.
platform, so I'm going to be okay. I'm sure it's under video, right? Or probably under the share. It's probably under share. Let me look at that.
Yeah, share settings.
Multiple, yeah, there we go. Multiple participants can share. All right. Sherry, go ahead and try that now. It's still giving you the same
Okay.
message?
Nope, now it's going to let me. Okay, it's going to let me share my screen. And it brings me up to draw over other apps.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd.
Okay,
Yeah.
where's it's not going to show me the family tree. Can you see my family tree?
No, we're just seeing your name right now.
Okay. All right, let's try settings.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, now do you have
Awesome.
it?
Perfect.
Yeah. Great
Yeah,
Okay,
job.
looking right at it.
yeah. So first off, it kind of annoys me that it always opens to this, but I understand why they did it. It was because they're thinking the majority of users only get on to use ordinances ready, and so hey, let's make it open up to the temple.
What
So
would you
I
want it to
understand
open
it.
up to?
I like it opening up to the tree, and that could just be that I don't like change, which I
Okay.
also just got called as the disability specialist. And so I've been reading a lot on that too. and
Yeah.
and going like, oh yeah, and getting, and I'm a family history consultant. So I know that like seniors and people with autism and everything like that. They don't like change.
Change. Yep.
And they just did a big, huge change to the family tree app.
Yes. Yes. It
Um,
was a big.
and I hated it. And it wasn't because it's not just because it was change. It before it was very similar to using the website.
Right.
And so going desktop to phone, it was all intuitive. If you knew one, you could work the other. And now they're very different, in my opinion. And so I didn't like it. But some of the details. So what I got hooked on doing this past year was just going and opening up tasks. And now I'm down to most of the ones left on here are ones that I need to get out the desktop and open up 3 or 4 tabs at a time and compare records, and there's something left that has to be sorted out, a duplicate that isn't quite obvious, and because everything lines up, but the family, parents are different or something, or
Hmm.
I need to go in and sort it or figure out, did she really have 4 husbands, or is this 2 ladies of the same name with 2 husbands each, things like that. But
Yeah.
anytime I had a few minutes waiting to pick up the kids, waiting at the doctor's, I just open it up. And then one of my favorite things to do is attach sources, because that helps
Okay.
so much. That's where you get your vital information,
Yeah.
as well as that you need to do the temple work, as well as where the information that you need to be able to sort out the more
And you do
information.
all that on your phone, right?
Yeah. So like Fremont C. Clayton, I'd go in here. Okay, there's a hint. And so one of the first things I do is I go through, and a lot of times standardizing the dates and the names will bring up, sometimes that brings up more records.
Yeah.
And so I'll go through and I'll check on all of that. If I have extra time and I'm feeling up to it, I would open up like this 1900 census, and then, because I know it's not Clinton and Howard townships, that's what was programmed in when they attached it, but I would need to look at the image to see, was it Clinton Township or Howard Township, and then was it Clinton Township or Clinton City, things like that. And then, so, wow, it's saying he doesn't have any sources. That can't be right, because these are all these residences are obviously from census records.
Yeah.
I did notice after the last update, when everything changed, parents and spouses and children and sources would disappear, but then if I refreshed it, see, so there's this glitch here.
There's a bug.
Yeah, because it would be like families that I was working on, and I was like, wait, I know that I did the temple work for his parents, and now it's saying he has no parents, and so I somehow figured out refreshing it, and then the children or the parents or whatever was missing would show up.
Yeah, that's a big bug. Yeah.
I know. And some users might not try to refresh
So,
it, just think there's nothing there. So,
yeah, I did. I panicked at first.
yeah.
Like, where did everything go? But then I'm experienced, and so I'm thinking, okay, somebody made a bad merge or deleted something, and I just have to check the change log. And then I checked the change log, and it had nothing too. And so then I'm going. That's when I was starting to panic. Was
Yeah, you're like,
nothing
wait a minute.
working out? you know. Um, so here's the sources, and then I would open up, and then I usually view the image. That's one of the standard rules that I teach people when I'm consulting, as well as that you learn, is you always want to look at the image, because there's more information. There's things that the AI got wrong, or that the indexer got wrong. So I'd look up here, and the county's Wayne, and here it says it's Clinton Township.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing I don't really like, that this one, obviously it is labeled township, but in the genealogy world, townships are never part. It's city, county, state, country, or the equivalent. because, but I've noticed whoever's working on standardizing the names, especially for the census records, they're putting in the townships. And so that's when and now the standardized place names, but records aren't the reason townships aren't usually included. And there are no records that can be found on the township level. There's no township records. I think there's a difference back east in the colonial New England area.
Yeah.
That they were townships during a certain period of time. But when you come out west, the townships, I remember it's like just a 6 mile by 6 mile square area. And it was just for dividing up the land into lots. So where this is in Iowa, it's probably it's how they gridded off the United States. Same thing with the enumeration districts. Should never be listed because it was just how, the enumerators, they're going out. And so they just take a map and they draw lines on it and they say, you take this number and you take that number. And it changes. You have to be a genealogist to know, the enumeration district means nothing. You have to chase down that census, that town. And even then you still might not find the enumeration map of where in the map was this. So those are just, those are the website in general, the whole family search program is. And I thought, well, maybe because sometimes there's more than one place, maybe they're saying, well, let's put in the townships just as an additional way to identify that it was,
Yeah.
So then I would go in here and here's one thing that has bothered me from the beginning is, and I've seen other people do it too, is you would expect to be able to click on the little map pin underneath it, the suggested, this should be Clinton Township.
Yeah.
And I want to just click it and have it enter it, but I can't. You have to.
It's just there for you to reference.
Yeah. And
okay.
But the intuition is, here's the suggested, and yes, that's right.
And you click it.
So when it is right, I want to just touch it. And I don't know if they just didn't think about it or if they were worried about people accidentally touching it. But you have to actually put your cursor in. Whoops. Okay. You have to actually put your cursor in there before and hit another key, a space or a delete or something, before it'll bring up your list of options to choose from.
So the expectation is that when you put your cursor in there, you have the ability to tap on like the suggestion, or not even the suggestion, but the reference underneath it.
Yeah. So when well, this one's already good, but like that one, it showed underneath it, should this be Clinton Township?
Mm-hmm.
And you assume that if it's suggesting it, most websites, if it suggests and says, should it be this, you expect to be able to click it and say yes.
Right. And then it would just auto-populate that suggestion.
Right. But instead, and it's not a huge deal. And if they tried it and they found, oh yeah, lots of users were saying no as they touch their screens, they're accidentally clicking it and it's putting in the wrong one, then then I just have to deal with it, and it's just me. But I've seen other users too, both on the website and on their phones, expect to be able to go, yes, that one.
And you've seen that interaction and then that moment of confusion where they're like, oh,
yeah. Why?
What do I have to do now?
It doesn't do anything. And so, then I have to teach them, no, you have to click in the box. And not only just click in the box, clicking in the box doesn't bring it up either. You have to start typing in the box. So if it's in this case where it was 90% that was away there, I just needed to delete out the Howard. I either have to start deleting or I have to start, you have to start adding or taking away something.
Before any of those suggestions show.
Before it gives you the list of suggestions.
Yeah. No, that seems like some low-hanging fruit that we could address. for sure.
Yeah.
So
And
we've got about
go ahead.
6 minutes left, and so if it's all right with you, I'd like to sort of pivot a little bit and talk about a specific feature on
Okay.
the app. And specifically, I'd love to get your insights as far as the search capabilities. Have you interacted with that feature
This
too much? Not this one.
I use this one, not this
Go
one.
ahead.
Okay. I use that one almost every day.
The search
And
right there on
I don't
the
like the
person
new.
page.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, this one.
I hadn't noticed it. Is that new or
Yeah, this is actually relatively
historical?
new. So this
Okay. So
is,
this,
go ahead.
when I first saw it, my thought was, oh, this is great. It's going to save me from having to go here to search records. But it's just a basic search. It doesn't populate with the name or you see how it's just blank?
Right.
Magnifying glass up at the top, right?
Is that the one you're hitting that opens it?
So yeah,
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it opens it. And then usually if I want to search to find somebody, then I
Mhm.
just go here to search. But
Okay.
most of the time on my phone, if I'm not doing tasks, if I'm wanting to get back to something I had started on, then what I do, and most people aren't going to know this is a worker because of my experiences. I go to my contributions and then I go to the changes and then it'll pop up and then I can scroll through and go, oh, that's the one that I had, seen as I was working and wanted to get back to. And so, if I was like, or I can't, or if I don't remember what I was working on last time.
So if I understand correctly, the path that you take to get back to and this is a workaround you've got to get to your search history. Is that
Right.
correct?
Or recently working on.
But that's if 80% of the church members are just opening it up for temple ordinances, then opening up to temple ordinances is nice. And you can't get one size fits all. That's the problem but I'd like an option where I can say in the settings, I could choose open up to the last page I was on or
right.
Or set what page do I want it to open to? Do I want it to open to temple ready or to my temple ordinances to use ordinances ready, or do I want it to open to my last page, or do I want it to open to the tree? Because I kind of like seeing the tree when it pops open.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like, oh, there's my family. I belong.
I love that.
So I understand they probably changed it to the temple to give people, because I'm assuming there was research and that's what most people are opening it for. But where I'm researching every day, and as far as ward members, is the average ward member as a consultant, what I found is most of them open it. They might open it to get ordinances ready, but the feature they all love is the relatives around me.
Yeah.
That's the one they all know about, and at any activity, somebody new or something, or if we do any family history activity, can we do relatives around me? That's like the one thing they care about.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's their way of connecting, which is crazy to me because it's such a buried feature.
But they all know where that one is.
Yeah, it's wild to me. Like there's not been a lot of initiative in trying to surface that, and yet everybody has wanted it so bad that they'll go through the thorns and briars to get to it.
Yeah, well, it's not that bad. You just hit the menu and then it's right there.
Yeah, the relatives around me. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one thing that you were saying, and I just want to make sure that I was understanding it because
Mm-hmm.
I might have been breaking up a little bit when I was hearing you. But
Okay.
so there's the search in the hamburger menu, the three-line menu, right?
Right.
And then there's that
That's
search icon up there, and they both open up the same search,
the same
right?
thing. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it sounded to me that you were surprised that when you clicked on the magnifying glass right there on the person
Mm-hmm.
page,
Right.
it sounded like you were surprised that the form was empty
I was
when you opened it.
expecting it. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, and I just hadn't like fully focused, but I was thinking my first thought before I saw that it was blank was this is awesome. It's going to search for this person because I've seen some of the
Hmm.
videos about the AI assist
Right.
on the website, and so that's what I thought you were pointing me to, and I was going like, oh, I haven't seen this feature on here yet, but that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. So your
Get to
expectation is that this search icon up here would have searched
for this
Fremont.
person. Yes,
And giving you like hints and
right.
okay.
It would have done the same thing as going here and hitting search records.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you're wanting more of a shortcut to this right here.
Yes. Hmm. And then this is the new where this took me a while to figure out because before it had the button right at the top that you
Uh-huh.
could start narrowing it down by collections or residents. And I liked those tabs because I'd go like, oh, 2000 results. Okay, let's narrow it down by mail. And it was just a click there. Now that's all hidden. And I had to go and find it under the filters.
Okay.
Got you.
Is there anything else that you're missing since the changes happened?
And then this too. I've always wondered why it didn't auto populate. You know, you have to enter the parents. Um, this is different. I'm still getting used to this. I'm still getting used to the whole new search. And so
Yeah.
the this is different is wearing off. But it was easier before when this category, you could click on category and just narrow it. And now with the category, when I go in and I click historical records and then I go to census records, it won't let me choose multiple. Before I could
Oh,
say, oh,
gotcha.
I want to see the, you know, I'm the 1910, 1920, and 1930 US censuses. Now you have to search one at a time, and then you have to click done, and you would assume that would do it, but it doesn't. Now you also have to click apply, and then it comes up. So there's just, this is what I'm not liking about it is there's extra clicks, buttons that used to be easily accessible are gone. It no longer mirrors the website, so it doesn't, it's not, if I teach somebody on their phone and then they go to the website, they can't find stuff. If I teach them on the website and then they go to their phone, it's,
Doesn't translate.
Yeah.
yeah, they have to still look for things,
Dang it. Okay.
you know, which like the tech savvy kids, yeah, they're just going to go menu. Yeah. But the adults that are older and don't know what a menu is, don't know the three dots,
Yeah.
don't know the hamburger, um, it doesn't transfer as easily for them.
No, yeah, and that's kind of universal. It's not the best practice to hide things like that.
Yeah.
So, um, we're coming up on time here, and
Yeah.
just I just want to like say thank you so much for walking through all of these different scenarios, like how you use the app, how you missed some features, what's working now, and what you miss.
Mhm.
Um, so before we head out or turn you loose,
Mhm.
if there was like one thing that you wish we could address that we haven't discussed today, um, what would be one of those things? I see here you got this.
Yeah. I think the biggest one would be the tagging sources. When
Okay.
I'm working on my phone and tagging the sources, or, you know, I'm adding all the sources and everything,
Mhm.
and it transfers over. So if I open up a census record and and I'll hit transfer and it'll transfer over to the 1910 census is where this came from. But then when you go on to the web page, it's not tagged. So then I have to double do the work. I have to go onto
So
the
you
web.
wish that it would sync the paths that you're taking on
Yeah.
mobile, that you could just pick up where you left off when you get onto desktop. And that's specifically with
Well, no, tagging
go ahead.
sources. So when you're looking at the sources, let me open up this guy and see. So on the details here, on the residents, sometimes if you go to the website after I've added in the census record and moved on all the information, and then you open him on the website and it'll say 1900 census. If you do it on the website, then on the website, it'll show next to the 1900 census one source. And you can click on the source and it'll say this information came from the 1900 census. The mobile app doesn't connect it. It moves over the information and it shows up in the source list and the information shows up, but it doesn't show up as the source is, it doesn't show up that the source isn't connected to the residents.
Mm-hmm. I think I was meeting with a user that had the same issue with the tagging sources.
Mm-hmm. So if I go in here, I've opened up this source and I can move over citizenship to the United States and I can attach it. But now if I go on the website and open it up, it'll say citizenship United States, 0 sources.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, this was the issue.
And so I would have to get on the website and open up the source again or open up the residence and hit tag sources.
Redo the whole process again.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And where I sometimes spend, anywhere from 5 minutes to a few hours doing this on my phone a day, to have all that work not connected.
Yeah.
That's really deflating.
Yeah.
It was a little frustrating, but it hasn't stopped me, and I just, every once in a while I get it on desktop and as part of the first clean it up before I work with it of standardizing everything, then I go in and I open it up and I tag all the sources again. And
okay. So Sherry, we've got about 3 minutes left and it's going to kick us out. You've got some great insights. Would you be okay with us reaching out to you again for any user testing? And then is that okay?
Yeah, that would be great.
Awesome. And then if there's like this list, or if you want to write something up, and you have my email, if you want to email me any other thoughts that you have, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I think we covered most of it, but yeah, I can scan through that and see if there's anything that we didn't
cover. Okay, that would be awesome. This has been really helpful. We like seeing the pain points that you're having and frustrations. That's what drives us. So
yeah, Sherry, just want to reiterate, thank you again so much for your time today.
You're welcome.
It's been really helpful because these are like the details that we're trying to iron out, like with these really specific areas of the search and like other areas like with sources. Like these are things that like I wish I was better at or at your level of family history work. I am just not. I'm working there.
Yep.
I'm
a few minutes a day.
Yeah,
that's
just
incredible.
repenting every day.
Sometimes as genealogists, we're looking at this and going, do the programmers ever do family history? Which
I like putting that in the quote book.
They're going to make a change. They ought to be required to get on and use that.
That is hilarious.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We love that. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for helping our deficiency. And we will definitely be reaching out again so that we can be sure that we're on the right track as far as addressing your pain points. Because, we definitely want to give you the best experience that enables you to access everything you need to do.
And
All
thank
right.
you for all the family history work you do. It's
Oh,
incredible.
Absolutely.
yeah. Do it. Just 5 minutes a day. You can change eternity.
Yes, you can.
Love
That's
that, Sherry.
another great quote. You've given us a lot of good quotes. So
All right. Have a good day. Merry
you
Christmas.
too.
Have a good
Nice to
rest of
meet
your
you.
day
Merry
too.
Christmas.
You too. Bye.
Bye, Sherry.